she scores. Whee! In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shall we nip to the pub? We could use a healer. What you looking at? Great Scott! Cracking!
Hey Rangers, today we're going to be looking at the Figma version of Tracer from Overwatch. I'm kind of excited to collect the entire range. Let's just hope they don't bring out multiple different versions or loot boxes. So first of all, we have a very clear window display. We see that it's very nice white and orange. 352 Overwatch Tracer Overwatch. On one side we see here is just the perfect one of her pose. We've got multiple different poses here as well. We've got the kind of normal pose that we see like pretty much everywhere. On the top is Tracer, and at the bottom is the same design. So let's open this bad girl and have a look inside. So this is what you get with Tracer. You get the actual figure itself, different hands, the end towards the stand. You get a grenade, you also get her guns, you get two different faces, and you get the stand. The stand also has Blizzard, because it's obviously a Blizzard product, so it just says it right there. But yeah, I've got to admit, I love all this. I love the weapons. I think they're really cool. The amount of detail that's on them is just absolutely stunning. And here is Tracer. I've got to admit, I really love her hair, her goggles, and just her smile. The way that this figure is kind of built really stands out, and it's so far from what I've seen is as a recording of 2018, because we've got a lot of reviews coming, I really think this is one Figma figure that actually really kind of stands out. I really love her collar. I love the fact that you can see the Union Jack there. I love the way that her power core, or whatever it is that gives her the ability to teleport, it really stands out, as well as the white that goes around her bust, as well as the one at the top. I love these as well, the kind of her package, I really like that. And I really love these here, they really do stand out. Even when you see her eyes, you can see them really clearly. It's like a really clear orange tint to it, which really stands out. And I've got to admit, oh my god, so far, as of 2018, this one is my favourite. As we move down her body, I really like these kind of gauntlets that she's got. If we slowly rotate her around like that, they do stand out quite well. Now, I did notice, I think on my one here, if you can see it, I didn't really like this part because it feels like it wasn't finished. It's very kind of like the paint's still there and it's kind of blotchy, and I wasn't a big fan. But I really like the fact that you've got this like T01 there, and the way even on her hands as well that they stand out. I love also here that the way that this harness goes around her legs, along here as well, and it says like Tracer there. But it doesn't say it on there, but I really like the way the harness moves down. Even when you look in the light, you can see that there's crisscross, which looks stunning, so they've really paid attention to this figure. As we come down to her shoes, now I have noticed when I zoomed in that the feet haven't been kind of finished. It feels very kind of like blotchy, and I wasn't a big fan of it. But when we look at the detail, we've got like kind of spots that look like Crocs to me. But I also really like the way that the sole and the heel are at the bottom there. You see that there's orange, so again, it's just not painted like grey. They've put some time into it. When you move up and you hold the figure, like when you turn it around, you can see that again, like they've spent time even making on the insides grey, which looks really, really cool. So when looking at the back of the shoe, there's some slight paint missing just there. Not too much to make me think, oh, they've not really cared about this figure. But you can see that also some of the white is going into the grey. I'm not a big kind of fan of that one, but again, most of the time I'm going to be focusing on everything else bar her legs and feet. But when we move here, I love the way that this orange is here. And even when you look at the pegs in a minute, the pegs are kind of also shaded into going from light to dark, or dark to light, and I really like that a lot. Even when we look at the side, again, we can see the crisscross just on her legs. So as we come to the back of Tracer, I really love this kind of backpack energy thing that she's wearing. The ring really stands out, and this just looks absolutely cool. There's writing on the top, which I can't read at the moment, but I'll have a look at it in a bit. But I really love the gauntlets. I really love the fact that these things come out. You've got little ridges there and there, and like on there too. And even when it comes here, they just look really cool. I love the fact that here as well, that you've got the kind of like, they brought it out so it looks pretty much like the figure. Now, the one thing I have noticed here on my figure is that it looks like sloppily painted. Like they just went over, like added too much to it, which I don't like. Also, when you like do that, you've got this like kind of ring here, or this little kind of metal part. It looks cool. Then you've got the harness going around her bum. I think that they kind of want to emphasize it a lot when it came to like when she first came out, so it was like, hey, look at her. But the way that the kind of like harness goes around, even around the leg, looks really, really cool. Also the texture that you can see just there and there, perfect. As we come to the part here at the very back, I really love the way that her hair is. I really think that if she went Super Saiyan, she would look really, really cool as well. I just love the way that the tips are, that it isn't flat, it looks very 3D, and I kind of really think it's cool. When we move it to the side, even like on her ears, if you can see it, you've got like kind of like the little, whatever they are, but they've added it on. So if she wears earrings, or she wears like a device on her ears, or even where her kind of like her visor is connected, it works really, really, really well. And I love the fact that at the top of the pack here, if you can see, it actually has like words on it. But I also really like this as well. So when you move her up, you can see that the kind of straps are all kind of done as well. It just looks like a really nice figure. Now, as like all figures, we do like kind of a stress test. So let's move the feet about so you can get it in. So you can turn it all the way around if you want to, because it's on a ball joint. But be careful, because like just now it's kind of switched to the point where you have to really turn the joint about if you want it to go up and down. So the feet move all the way around, just like so, like that. So yeah, just make sure that if you're going to be doing that, you want to make sure that it goes properly back. So we've got the joints, so like that. You find that the leg moves all the way around like that. Just very similar. That one is kind of stiffer, so I think it's because of this that it doesn't move, but it takes a while just to move it about. Her hands, her arms, they all go around. Articulation to that. Like that, and like so. Bend the arm like that, so they can move all the way around if you want to, just like that. And then you've got head moves up, down, so it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does turn all the way around, just like that. And then just like that, so the head moves about. One thing I forgot to mention about the figure is just on this side here, it reminds me of like the Air Force, which is just there like a kind of like a plane, as well as the British Jack there. I know I mentioned that one before, but I think that's kind of cool and really like really well detailed, so that kind of made the figure extra special to me. So just like all the other Figma figures, we have a look at the different faces. Now, when taking out her hair, I really like that on the goggles, they really kind of put the white trim around it. You kind of think, oh, well, you know, you're not going to see it under the hair, so it doesn't really matter. And even like the grey here and here, and even when you take the kind of head off, oh, it's all part of the head. I thought there was still grey here. So let's put on her first face. Oh, now be careful about pushing it with the goggle on, because I just kind of pushed it and I heard kind of like a little kind of click. Now, I don't particularly want you guys to breaking it, so just be careful on that one. Now this is a kind of smiley face, like, hey, I've just won the match. So I kind of think this is really, really cool. I think this is possibly maybe my favourite one so far. But let's have a look at the kind of mass, like the other face. So I just grab it under the chin and kind of pull out, which makes it easier. Let's lean over and grab this one. So again, just being careful. So this is kind of the menacing look, like, are you sure you want to do that? So add the hair in there. So that's kind of like, I'm gonna fight. I really like that if you put the head just like that, it looks a lot cooler, like, I'm going to end you right now. That's really cool. I like that. But no, I really like her laughing face. We're looking at the weapons. This is the Tracer's, well, one of her weapons, should I say. You get the two guns, and they look really, really cool. So hopefully you can see it, and it's not just blurred out. But you've got the lines there. You've also got painted at the top there, as well as blue here. So they've really kind of taken the time and actually made the accessories really, really cool. So I generally think that this is actually quite a decent paint job, as well as just in general just a really nice addition to the figure. Also the grenade, you've got the orange, you've got grey there as well, and you've got the little lines. So there's a lot of detail. Even the G, it's really cool. On the back, there's not a lot there. So there we go, Rangers. There is Tracer. She is possibly, in 2018, one of my favorite figures, and she's absolutely awesome. I don't have any complaints whatsoever about her. Maybe if I did, then maybe a little bit of the paint issues, but to be honest, she is a great figure, and she is definitely worth adding to a collection. If you're about to collect the entire Overwatch series, or even if you're an Overwatch fan, this is definitely the figure for you, and it's just absolutely cool. So Rangers, your question of the day is, would you get it, yes or no, or would you kind of give this a miss? What are your good points about it, and what are your bad points? And also, are you going to be collecting the entire series? Let me know down below in the comments. If you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the other videos on the channel. If you want to help the channel out on Patreon, link is in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.